In this video, I'm gonna show you how to set up an AI agent with your current WhatsApp business number, the one that you have on your WhatsApp business app. Yeah, that's possible. And there will be no server to manage. I'm gonna use mainly a software called Chatwoot, N8N in Redis. I'm gonna walk you through everything, don't worry. So by the end of the video, you'll be able to build AI that replies to your customers 24/7. Rules, that's very important for the handoff. So when the AI should reply, when they should hand off to a human and vice versa. And again, we're gonna use pretty much Chatwoot. This is it. You're gonna be in between those plans. N8N, whether you use self-host or the cloud one, doesn't matter. An AI module of choice, I'm gonna use for this video Anthropic. You're gonna have to use the API key. I'm assuming you have that, just like your phone number that you use on the WhatsApp business on your phone. A Facebook account, if you don't have, it takes 1 minute to create. Super easy. The Redis accounts that I'm gonna create with you. The Redis is gonna be really I think there's two main differentials or three main differentials to what I'm about to show you in this video. One is the coexistence that really relies on Chatwoot application, since we're not doing the self-hosting. The Redis use, which is going to allow your agent to wait 8 seconds between receiving the first message from the customer, because sometimes the customer within that period of 8 seconds will send other messages. And the handoffs rules. We're gonna get to that in a second. So the decision flow chart, or the way that I can explain a little bit better for you, I'm gonna make this document available for free, is: do you want to manage your own server? For this video, we're gonna go with no. If you want me to show how to self-host it, let me know. But we're gonna do Chatwoot Cloud, so that's the one. Do you still want to use the WhatsApp business on your phone with the same number? The answer is yes, we have covered that. How do you want to connect the WhatsApp number to Chatwoot? The answer is the embedded sign up. This becomes more of a question when you are doing the self-hosting, but this is gonna be like a few clicks authentication, gonna work just fine and gonna make the coexistence possible. And if you are self-hosting and using the embedded sign up, which is not the case, we're gonna go with no. But the yes, we would need to create an application inside Meta or Facebook and get it approved, which is not necessarily a fast thing to do. Again, if you want me to show you this, let me know in the comments and I will do it. So you can take a screenshot here, but again, I'm gonna make this available for free. Out of those 4 options, we're gonna go with cloud, meaning Chatwoot non-self-hosted, and the embedded sign up. Below here in the documents, you have some comparisons for costs. You can take a look at that, as well as the coexistence country support. Some countries will not support it, mostly in Europe. And what are the Facebook accounts, Meta accounts that you need. This one, the personal Facebook account, you do need to create it. If you don't have it, create one, takes a minute. Fourth one, we're not gonna use it for the non-self-hosted. And 2 and 3, if you don't have it, with the embedded sign up, you can create it within Chatwoot, like in the pop-up that will appear. Don't worry. So now get your phone ready, your phone number ready, and let's start with opening Chatwoot. Again, this is probably gonna be your first time, and you can start with a free trial. And as soon as you do, you're gonna see yourself on a page like this, and you wanna go to settings and inboxes, and here that's where you're going to connect to your WhatsApp. I'm going to delete my connection so we can do everything from the start. Okay, so we start like this: inbox, WhatsApp, and this is the embedded solution that we're talking about. And here you pretty much just follow along, assuming that you have a Facebook account already. A few things here that I already have it connecting to. If you don't, it's gonna guide you to creating one business portfolio by just clicking. Go ahead, connecting to your existing WhatsApp business app. This is very important because this is gonna allow for the coexistence to happen. I'm gonna put my phone number here, go forward, confirm, and it should connect to my WhatsApp. Finishing the setup, and there we have it. By the time you finish this, since I already had my existing account, it's showing something to me that probably won't show for you, which is those agents here. But I'm gonna show you how you do it yourself. Stick with me because I'm gonna show you how to do it. And of course, you need to use your phone here to scan it. So when you are finally here, you are gonna want to use your phone to scan this, and it's gonna bring you to probably your WhatsApp personal one to send a message to your business one. And I just did it, and you're gonna see here, hey, testing the video. I sent this message from my personal to my business, so it's showing up here. I'm gonna send another one because I just realized that I sent from my own WhatsApp business actually to my WhatsApp business. So let me send from my WhatsApp personal to my WhatsApp business. It's gonna show here in a second. Now we are talking. Now we are talking. And then I can reply from my WhatsApp business to my personal back, or actually I can reply on my WhatsApp business that's connected here to anybody. So I can reply to anybody. Okay, so this is in Portuguese. That's because I forgot to turn off the AI agent that I was going to show you how to build. So let me turn it off. Actually, a little bit of a spoiler here. Let me delete this message just so it won't distract us. Okay, so now anybody that sends me a message during this video, I don't know, who knows, maybe somebody will send me a message. It should appear here and I will be able to reply to them. Now, I told you there was something important to do when we finish the setup of the WhatsApp inbox, and this important thing is when you go here to agents, you're probably going to see just yourself here, right? And what I want you to do is create a new agent, because you yourself is more than an agent, you are admin. So if you add an agent here, give whatever name you want, agents, gonna give you an email address, and with that email address, it's gonna send you an OTP. You're gonna finish the setup. That's pretty much it. The one thing that you want to make sure is the availability is offline, and the reason for that is because we are gonna be using these bots that you are creating, or these agents that I'm calling a bot here, to answer the questions as your AI agent. And when you finish the setup of this bot, you're gonna see that you are gonna be logged in a page just like this one, but for your bot. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to profile settings, and all the way to the bottom, you're going to see that you have an access token. That access token is gonna be very important, so copy and paste in a safe space, because we're going to be using it in a minute in the N8N workflow. And by the way, just to show it to you, the same messages that we saw in the app, the Chatwoot app, are being shown on my WhatsApp business. So the coexistence is definitely work. So now the next crucial thing is for us to set up the N8N workflow. And this is what it looks like for the complete one. Don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through it. But before, let me use yet another document for us to be on the same page for the logic of it, or the concept. One of the main benefits of what we are building is the coexistence, right? We can have both the AI agents and you answering to your customers, your clients, your leads. For that to work, apart from everything that we already did, we need some ground rules or some handoff rules. And here are the ones that we are setting up. So we're gonna have three main statuses. One is open. So when it's open, means it's on AI mode and the AI will respond automatically. When it's pending, that means human mode. AI stays silent, and Pedro, I'm calling the agent Pedro for this example, will handle everything. And resolved is when something is done, or that ticket is done. But let's say when a new message comes in for that ticket, meaning for that client, it will be automatically open, change the status to open, meaning the AI will take care of it. And here are the rules for handing off from agents to human. So from AI to human, we have, I said before that Pedro is the AI, of course not, this is the name of the human that would be answering clients. Correction made. From AI to human, 4 triggers can make that happen. One is when the human actually opens the app, be that the Chatwoot app or the WhatsApp business, and starts to replying himself as a human. And that's why it's important for us to have created this agent right here. AI itself can detect based on the prompt that you give. You just need to teach it that for a specific case, let's say if your lead says he wants to talk to a human, you can determine if that is a trigger. And if that's, of course, is detected by the AI will hand off to a human as well. If anybody changes the status in the Chatwoot app to pending, from open to pending, that will also trigger it to go to a human, and the AI will be silent. And if the customer is going through the hits rate limits, which is probably like a 1 in a million situation. And here is the other way around. You can take a screenshot if you want, but I'm gonna make these documents available as well. So it's again in the Chatwoot app. If somebody clicks on resolve, goes back to AI. There's also an alternative method, which is sending a private node /AI. That's something that I created. I'm gonna show you here, but it would be something like, instead of replying, I'm writing a private note, and I would do something like this. I'm not gonna do it right now. There'll be a time for it, but that's what I mean. And changing the status to open as well, we'll do the same. Okay, and as I said, this is the workflow that I built for this N8N agent, and I'm gonna walk you through pretty much every node or every section of the node. First step is we go back to Chatwoot, and on integrations, we're gonna need a webhook. Integrations, and here, that's where you're going to configure your webhook, and you would create a new one, select message created, give it a name, whatever it is you want, and the webhook URL, if you are creating a new one, which would be your case, you would create this webhook trigger node and change this to posts and copy the production one. So you would copy this. You can change the path here for the name to be more friendly. So friendly name Chatwoot, for instance. Copied here, not here. This is the name, and this is where you would paste it. All right. I already have one here because my webhook is already set up. Now I probably need to change it a little bit. So after the video, I'm gonna change the webhook name. I could just add a filter here to or authentication, but I will change the webhook anyway. So after that, I have set node. So if you're building from the ground, it would be like this. And this set node, what you are doing is you are creating all of those variables. So it's standardized now. Those are the names. It's not going to change, and strongly advise you to do that. You could, instead of doing this JSON here, that you can, I guess, I don't know, maybe pause the video and copy and paste or put it through AI. You can do a manual mapping. So you would do something like this. Inbox ID is a name, and the variable would be like this. This would result in the same, but the JSON would just be faster. And I have this filter here just because before I launch it or when I'm still testing something, I want this to only work when the message is coming from those guys, Luis, Pedro, or B. Those are tests that I was doing. So in production, you don't really need that. But for now, I would advise you to do it. When you're building, put a filter that is like the sender name is equal to you, the bot name, and some other names that you want to test it for. And also if it contains /AI, just because this is one of the ways we have for sending the conversation from human to back to AI. And this is the first if that is important. If we have this /AI, that means somebody on your team or yourself is trying to send that conversation back to AI mode. Remember, it's one of the ways to do that. When that happens, we go to resuming AI mode, a post request to Chatwoot API to set the status for open, because that will trigger the AI, and note here a message saying that the AI mode has been reactivated. But this is the main thing. Set the status back to open, because that is one of the things we notice. That's one of the triggers for the AI to start replying. And for all of those HTTP requests, the API access token here is the one that I told you to copy and paste in a safe place from your bot login. So you log into your bot, not from your admin account. Again, let me show you. Profile settings, go all the way to the bottom and copy this from your bot. So just to recap, when it's private message, private reply with /AI, this will come to this branch here of the workflow that will set the status open and place a private note saying what just happened. Like we went from human to AI back, and since it's all private here, the customer won't see any of those interactions. Now, if it is not /AI command, it comes to this part of the workflow here, and it is the detect human outgoing. And this code here is one of the key parts of the workflow that really makes a difference. And it is checking to see if it is an outgoing message, it is from a human, not from the bot, and while the AI mode was active. If all that checks out, that means a human is taking over. You or somebody in your team is actually replying to the message. And if that's true, we want to identify that, and we want to do three things, and those three things are here. Meaning, we're going to assign the conversation to Pedro. That's the name that I gave for the human. We're going to assign the status to pending, and we're going to leave a private note explaining what happened. Those are the HTTP requests that we want to do, and I'm about to talk to you about this. This is the post request for the status pending, and this is not mandatory, but it's a good practice to leave the private method. So those three things will happen if it's a human takeover. Now, you might have noticed that we have some IDs here, and this is important for you to change the bot agent ID and the human ID. Remember, those are the guys, all right? Agents and yourself. And if you haven't already, you go back to your inbox, and in collaborators, you make sure both are selected. Where are you going to see the ID? There are many ways. One is if you are logged into your own account, you can see it here, account ID, but you can also see it here. And when you log to your bot's account, same thing. So that's something that you need to account for. Now we go to this part of the workflow and we are about to meet the Redis. We have Redis here and here. Here's where the magic is happening, or one of the magics is happening. But let's start with this piece here. This is where we are going to stop the workflow unless the message is from the customer, not from ourselves, we or the bot. So we want to make sure that from here on, we are just processing messages that need replying to, which are the messages from the customers or clients or leads. So that's what it is doing. And then we start the Redis. And before we go to the entirely Redis workflow, a part of the workflow, this branch here is just accounting for when the amount of messages that has been sent by this user is being over 50 in the brief period of time. That's him hitting the limits, and then we want to account for that and send fixed message to him saying, hey, we're gonna be back to you in a minute. Wait a second. Let's start with those two Redis nodes here. What they are doing, they're getting the current hourly message count from Redis, incrementing and checking if it's hitting the 50 which we set up as the limit. It's pretty much it. All of those nodes here for Redis, it's with one purpose only, which is account for when somebody is messaging you within a given short period of time, sending more than one message. Because it's common for when humans are interacting, your lead, your customer won't necessarily send everything that he wants answered to in one message. Sometimes people send within, and we have determined here 8 seconds. You can change it. Within 8 seconds, if he sends more than one message, you want your AI agents to wait those 8 seconds to make sure it gather all the messages sent within that period before replying. And when it's replying to everything. I think it's somehow sophisticated, but it makes a lot of sense. If you want to create a more simple solution, you can skip everything that I'm doing with Redis here. If you're doing for production, I do not recommend, because what is going to happen is, let's say somebody sends you a message like, hey, and then says, how are you doing? And then another one with the proper request. Your agent would reply to those three separately. That's not ideal. So the analogy would be like in an elevator. When somebody presses a button, the elevator will wait 8 seconds until actually starts the process of going to that floor, to allow for other incoming passengers to press a button as well. And when somebody else presses a button, it will trigger the 8 seconds delay again until nothing happens within 8 seconds, because we determined, and then it will follow on with the rest. So I'm gonna show you now in a second how to set up the Redis account. It's pretty easy. And all of those, we are here now, all of those nodes, what they are doing is the push message is adding the message text to a Redis list for the sender. The second one is writing the execution unique ID as the lock for that sender. Then we are giving the pause for 8 seconds. The get lock reads the current lock value, and we compare here if this is the latest. Because if somebody messages you within those 8 seconds, this will not match. And if it doesn't match, it ends here in this false argument. If it does match, meaning the last message it received was also the latest, it goes on to get all the messages in that interval and deleting them, because they are going to be accounted for and answered to in the following parts of the workflow. Okay, now let's create your Redis credentials. So here, for you to get the Redis credentials, you want to go to console.upstash and you're gonna have to sign up. When you do so, you want to create Redis database, and when you create your Redis database there, you're gonna come here to one of the nodes, create a new credential, and on password you're gonna copy the token, copy and paste there. The endpoint is what you paste on the host, not this entire thing, sorry, just this. You want to enable this SSL. The port is probably going to be 6379, and again for the password you paste the token. Okay, that's all you need. All right, now that we are here, meaning the last message is actually the latest, we are using this code node here to combine all the messages, checking to see if the conversation is open and if it is AI mode or not, because something might have changed in the past 8 seconds. For instance, somebody in your team came in, and within that 8 seconds that the person was sending message, it started replying, let's say, for the second or third message already. So then we would stop here. If that's not the case, we're gonna keep going for this get, which is getting the history of the past 20 messages, the conversation, using this to process them and feeding finally to the AI agent. So you see, we had a lot of nodes before actually the AI agent came in. When you do it for the first time, you do it a very quick one. So you see a lot of people doing that in videos here that will work good for the video, but for production, this would be, if not necessary, much better. So here is where you would feed some information, such as the history of the conversation, so this is in Portuguese, and the message to the user. So the message is what actually came in latest, and the history is everything that those 20 that you just loaded. For the prompt, for the system prompt, that's where you would give your AI agent prompt, everything that you wanted to handle. It can be FAQs, it can be CRM, it can be booking deals for you, whatever that is. So I will make available in the link in the description prompt example for you. Not the entire workflow I want, sorry. If you're following along, you're gonna be able to build it. But also this file here to help you, and another one that is actually this file that is explaining pretty much everything that we are doing. We saw that, and this is explaining to you each key part of the N8N workflow, what you have to do, what does that mean, some examples, especially for you to understand the Redis part, that is probably the most complicated one. So with all that, you can definitely. Then we are doing a code node here just that is checking to see if there is handoff suggested. So in your prompt for the AI agent, you want to instruct it based on your criteria. What are the cases in which the AI should actually hand off that to a human? And this is checking if that's message is doing that. Because if it is, we are gonna send a handoff message that is a static message saying, hey, our human name will be with you shortly. And what we do is we have another HTTP request to Chatwoot again you have seen this before now, which is assigning that to a human, and that's where you need to change the ID as well. I showed you this before. Set the status to pending. I'm doing here an email as well as an alert. If you work well with email, you can do also a Slack message or nothing, because you already have a message app, right? It's a WhatsApp and Chatwoot. But I'm just being cautious here. And again, the internal note that is not a reply, or it's more like a private message. But if it is not a handoff, the AI response, we are gonna send, this is the HTTP request to send the message back. The content is what comes out from the AI. It is an outgoing message. It's not private because we want the user, the clients, use leads, whatever to see, and it is a text. If I now publish this back, what should happen is, since we had that filter that for, let's say, testing, if it finds a Luis in the name, that's my name, it replies, it goes through. So if I send any message from my private number to this WhatsApp business, it's gonna trigger a response. It's gonna be in Portuguese, you're not going to understand, but I just wanna show you that happening again. It happened before by mistake because I had forgotten to turn it off, but now it's back on, and let's see. So yeah, I just sent it and got here, what is your name? That's the message I sent from my private number to this WhatsApp business, and that should trigger the workflow. And you can also see it here on my WhatsApp business, by the way. So it's the same, the coexistence is working. And here you saw it triggered correctly for the first time, and it went all the way through in the workflow, right? Because it passed all the text. Not here because it was not handoff. So we went for the AI response. Now there was another right after, few seconds later, another trigger to the workflow. And this time you're gonna see what happened, which was it stopped right here because that's the incoming filter. So this was successfully noted as probably the AI response to my message. So it really should not go any further than here because it does not require a response. So it's not an incoming message from the leads. And we're about to check that. There should be a response here. See, it's in Portuguese. I'm probably gonna have to blur a little bit because this was a test that I was doing. But as you can see, that's the AI response. So when the AI response is sent, it also triggers the workflow because it has to check if there is any handoff requested, but it stops right here. And that's pretty much it. I know it's a lot to take in for the first time, but I firmly believe if you follow along in the video, you're gonna be able to build it yourself. And I'm gonna add these 2 documents here to the link below in the description for free, all but the entire workflow. I can't do that. Hopefully you enjoyed, was useful for you. You can go ahead and build it. Take your time, make mistakes, learn from it, and go build it. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, following, please do.